Welcome into the DML Network. It's your boy XPERT, and I got another episode of the bye week. I got two guys on their bye weeks this week. They want to talk about their squads, and they're both from the AFC. So we'll start with the homie Bruce. Bruce over there with those Baltimore Ravens. What's going on, Bruce?
Not much, XPERT. Appreciate you having me on the show, man.
Man, no doubt. Glad to have you on here. All right, let's talk Ravens. You came into the league. You took over a pretty decent team that a lot of guys would have loved to have drafted. And you're sitting at 4-5 right now. What's been the biggest struggle for you this year with those Ravens?
Man, the biggest struggle this year is finishing games. It seems to be that if it's a close game, we end up finding a way to lose. So this coaching staff has to get together on the same page as these players, and we gotta figure it out.
Yeah, and you're pretty much in every ball game that you're in. Now, you got beat by 10 by the Dolphins, and the Chargers caught you right before the bye week by 14. But other than that, man, pretty much all your games are, if you take an L, it's real close. And you talk about closing games out. So is it the offense or is it the defensive side of the ball that's hurting you the most?
I would definitely have to say it's the offense, man. We went out in free agency this past offseason and made some moves to go into win now mode. And honestly, it hasn't really paid off, whether it's, some bad reads here or there or turnovers. It just seems to be whenever the offense's time to shine comes up, we don't. So yeah, we definitely have to improve there. Defensively, we've played pretty well. I think if you look at my scores, outside of probably playing the Dolphins, we've held most teams under 30 points. Yeah. And I believe if we do that, we should be able to put up enough points on offense to take care of games. So we just got to step up offensively, man.
Yeah. All right, we always talk in the Dynasty how this is a chess, it's not checkers kind of league where you got to be thinking 4 or 5 years down the road, and you got a very, very veteran team. And when I say the word veteran, I mean old. You got some old dudes on this squad. You got Cam Newton, Alex Collins at running back is up there in age. Your wide receivers with Allen Robinson, Sammy Watkins, Keelan Cole, Marquise Goodwin, all the guys 28 and above. Are you starting to kind of look at your roster and think, man, I need to make some changes and make some moves and get some youth in this roster so we can make a run, not just this year, but the next 4 or 5 seasons?
For sure. On offense, my game plan was to get on defense, my game plan was to get younger quick, and we did. On defense, we're young, but just like you said on offense, man, we're looking like a retirement home. So the plan is over the next couple years is to get this offensive looking kind of, more like a high stakes team versus like I'm just trying to win now in these first 2 or 3 seasons.
Right. So do you have the quarterback of the future on the roster? I know you got Cam Newton, you got the young kid sitting behind him, but is that the quarterback of the future for the Ravens?
Yeah, Jonathan Mankins is definitely the quarterback of the future. He started last year. I don't know if it was the sliders or what, but he just threw some passes that would go straight to the defense. I know Madden is kind of broke this year in the past game, but it was just unbearably frustrating for me. So I took the chance to go out and grab Cam and, was looking to be sitting a lot better record-wise at this point in the season, but unfortunately it hasn't turned out that way yet. So Mankins is definitely the guy for the future. He's there. We just got to start building around him. And this was, brought in Cam so he could learn under him. But it's a good thing that you said that, because after this bye week, we might be seeing Cam just using special packages. So there might be a little free chicken out there for my next couple of opponents.
Well, let's talk about your next couple of opponents, because the next one you got is an OG in the league. It's Mr. What up, Mr. Tone Dog himself, and those Raiders. And they're coming to your spot. That's going to be a tough matchup. Does Cam play that game, or we going to see the youngsters step in there against a very good Raiders defense?
Well, since I'm already giving out the free KFC, yeah, Tone's probably going to see Jonathan starting this next game. Glad to be honest here. Looking forward to the matchup. I watched pretty much everybody's streams in this league. The AFC West, they got voted as the toughest division. It's real competitive out there. I know the Chargers and the Chiefs are struggling a little bit record-wise, but those guys beat each other up over there. And I've been watching Tone, and I'm looking forward to playing against the OG.
All right, man. Let's look at the standings for these beautiful Ravens that you got some of the best uniforms. You're sitting at 4-5, but if you look at the division, the Browns, they're leading the division right now at 6-3. You're not but 2 games out of first place. You got Tone Dog coming up. You got a divisional game versus the Bengals. You also are going to see the Steelers in the next 3 weeks. I think it's Raiders, Steelers, Bengals. All 3 games, when you look at it, you have to think these got to be winnable games and have an opportunity to turn around and be 7-5 and maybe take the lead in this division. Do you still feel the Ravens are a playoff caliber team as you sit right now?
Definitely do. I'll have to be honest. I think that this Tone game will be the toughest game that I have again, probably on the schedule before I have to play against Chris Murray again. No disrespect to the division mates. I know the Bengals surprise knocked me off, came back last season and knocked me out of the playoff race, actually. So, we can't overlook him because Big Homie, he'll sneak up on you if you let him.
Absolutely.
We're just going to try to hunker down, take it a game at a time. I already answered the media question on my bye week. They asked me the same thing. They thought we were going to make it to the playoffs, so they were going to take it a game at a time. Yeah, but our plan is definitely to make the playoffs.
No doubt, and you gave the Bengals a donut the last time you played, so he's going to be coming in there trying to revenge that donut that you gave him. All right, so after the Bengals, you get the Vikings, another game where you feel like you have the upper hand and can win, and then you got that very, very tough matchup versus the Browns. Now, you lost to the Browns by 7 points in week 4. You're starting to play a little bit better football, and the Browns are struggling. He's definitely leading the division, but he's not blowing the doors off of people. And then you got JB and the Broncos, and you finish with a very dangerous Texans team and SJ. You got a chance to steal this division. What is one thing that the Ravens must do these back half 6-7 games in this season to make sure that you have a chance to make the playoffs?
Well, XPERT, we got to protect the ball. We have to protect the ball. We have to capitalize on our turnovers as well. Sometimes I get a little too conservative in my play calling. Yeah. In the red zone, we got to score touchdowns. A bunch of games this year. Playing against the Bears, first game this year, and also against the Packers, my first 2 games, got real conservative. Instead of going for touchdowns, settled for the field goals in the red zone, and it came back to bite me. So we got to protect the ball, and we got to score touchdowns in the red zone if we want to make the playoffs in this tough AFC.
All right, man. What you got for the Dynasty before you get out of here?
Just want to give, a shout out to everybody in the Dynasty that works hard behind the scenes, all the stats teams, the commissions, the guys like you that make shows and produce shows. Shout out to Dion for having, such a structure. Really enjoy being in this league, and hope that I'm around for a while and can make some noise this year.
Yeah, Bruce gonna be here for a while. We like the homie over there in Baltimore. You're doing your thing. Keep on balling. Hopefully we see you in the playoffs. Maybe you get a chance to run into them Jaguars. We'll get you head-to-head on Facebook and see what you can do versus those Jaguars. But, man, appreciate you jumping on the bye week. We're going to let you go get prepared as you got a tough matchup versus the Raiders. Appreciate you jumping on the show.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. That is Bruce and those Baltimore Ravens. But I got to bring an OG on the show. And listen, I love everybody in the Dynasty. Y'all know that. I got so much respect for everybody in the Dynasty. But there's some guys in the Dynasty, when I get a chance to talk to them, chop it up, get them on the show, it's special. And when you get an OG like this next guy, it's always a good thing for your boy XPERT. So I'm going to bring him in here. It's none other than Mr. Tone Dog himself with those Oakland Raiders. Oh, I'm sorry. sorry, y'all not the Oakland Raiders no more. Y'all are the Oakland Raiders. But I think y'all gonna be moving here pretty soon, from what I hear. What's up, Tone Dog?
What up, my man X? You got that right. It's Las Vegas, baby. We throwing straight snake eyes on that ass.
I figured you was moving that team. All right, man, let's talk Raiders. Not having the season that you wanted to, but you're balling here going into the bye week, mister. You got 3 wins going into this bye week. You beat up on the Broncos, and then you had a little NFC East run there, which you took out HBO. And then you took out Publizi, another West Coast guy, going into the bye week. And you're looking not too bad with those Raiders. Do we see Tone Dog back in the playoffs this year?
I'm hoping. Actually, that's always the plan once we start preseason week 1. So, I started off actually my first 3 games. I'm 1-1. I'm tossing and turning that night. I'm like, what the fuck? Does the Dynasty not love your boy anymore? And I don't know. I just had to pull things together. You're right. So now I find myself 6-2-1. I still got that tie on the board, but I think we could do some things. But what's crazy, X, the last back half of the season is where it gets real tough. Yeah. And I'm sure I'm probably jumping ahead of you a little bit, but boy, oh boy, this back half is going to be something crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. And we're going to talk about that back half. But you're leading a division, a place that you've seen before. And you got a tough division. KP is never out of anything, even at 4-5. The homie Andy Force with those Chargers has a banner with Madden 19. He's at 4-5, so they both breathing down your neck, 2 games out of the win column. Maybe that tie comes back and helps the Raiders make the playoffs. And then, of course, we love the homie JB down there with the Broncos. 2-7 is not the true JB. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he's too focused on James Harden and the Rockets. He's not focusing on the Broncos. But definitely a tough division. But you're leading it right now. What do you got to do to stay on top of this AFC West?
Well, I did have a tough game versus JB the first round. If I'm not mistaken, I think he might have clipped me the very first game. But so the last half, I gotta see 2 division mates twice. So God bless me with the Chiefs and the Chargers as my last 5 games, sandwiched in between Matty motherfucking Ice. Yeah. So it's gonna be wild. The Chiefs is always tough. The Chargers is always tough. That's my boy. We be talking shit to each other, and you always got to get up for Matty because he trying to hang 50 on everybody.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and Derek Carr getting up there in age.
He is. We actually got a little. We got a backup though. We got a backup. We like him. He's more of a scrambler type, so we got to get him just to kind of settle the fuck down, chill, make your reads, trust your O-line, and let's do what it do.
Yeah, Aaron, when he came out of Florida State, he was never a go through his reads. He was, if the first guy wasn't open, he was taking off with those legs he got. I mean, he got 83 speed, 85 excel at quarterback. Not many defensive linemen catching him. And so that's not really his game. But maybe he can learn some of that thing from Derek Carr as he gets on, here in this age. But I want to talk about your halfback that you drafted a season ago. Deontay Faison. Talk to me about this young guy.
This motherfucker is a monster, X. I mean, he's tall as shit. He's big. He's got weight, so he's got some wiggle. If he gets into the open, he's gone. He can run over you. This guy had like 2 A's coming out on the draft board. Those are his first 2 attributes were slacked up in A's. So I'm like, okay, I gotta go get him. And then I get him, and this dude is like bigger than everybody on the field. So I had to spat him up with the all black spats and all that other good arm stuff. I mean, the boy looks good. You look good, you play good. That's what Deion Sanders said, right?
Hey, if you look good, you play good. If you play good, they pay you good. And that's what Deontay Faison is doing. Don't start me with Deion Sanders quotes. I got them all, as a huge Deion fan. And Faison,
sure,
he's averaging 4.2 yards a clip. He's got 5 touchdowns. He's breaking tackles. But here's the stat I love about the kid. 0 fumbles.
Wow.
The guy loves to
huge.
hang on to the football.
That's huge.
And you're building around him, and that's a huge part of it. But do you feel there's some spots on your roster that you got to improve at? I know your wide receiver core. When I was looking at it earlier, I like the young kid, Marquise Woodyard, at 6'5". He likes to go up and get the ball. Seth Roberts is getting up there in age, but you don't really have that burner on this roster. Kiki's really your fastest guy, but he's not going to run past many people. Do you feel like that's a spot you got to improve in these next couple drafts?
Yeah, of course. Well, I see that and O-line. So with the receiver core, as you know, ain't nothing funny but the fucking money. My money was funny, X. So I had to get rid of Cooper, bro.
We're going to talk about that here in a minute.
Lord have mercy. I hate to keep jumping in front of you, but the shit is on my mind. So Cooper, I had to let him go. I actually had a cool little trade with the Texans, not actually before, so I was able to get another receiver. I think his name is Cutie or Cordy or something wild like that. Yep. But he fits the scheme. He's got decent speed. And, I don't know if the Raiders really need like a burner. I was talking to the boy Bird 22 gang, and he like 85 speed works. So I'm like, shit, let me try 85 speed. See what it do. The guys are winning. We're hanging on to the ball. Like you said, no turnovers really, no fumbles with the running back. And we just kind of trying to keep the train moving, X. Really.
Yeah. How rough was that when you got the word that you had to drop Amari Cooper and Joseph, correct? Yeah,
Carl Joseph, a superstar. Amari Cooper, obviously, superstar.
Obviously, two superstars. Yeah. Because your money started to slip into that funny side. My big question is, Tone Dog, why didn't you reach out before it got to that point where you look up and you owe more money than America owns China?
Gee, look, X, I'm on 100. This is exactly what I told the main commission. This is what happened, bro. So I got the loan, right? Everything is good. And then I'm like, shit, I need to build a stadium because I was dead last in all the stadiums. So I'm like, okay, I can't relocate. So let me go ahead and build a stadium. So I chose the cheapest one. Everything is good. Now I got no money because everything is tied into the stadium. Then I look up after year one. I'm like, okay, I'm minus like 30 million. I'm like, okay, that's not that bad. I win a couple games, hike up the ticket prices. I'm back in the mix. Man, by week like 5, I'm up to like 100 million. I'm like, what the fuck, bruh? So I'm like, quiet as Kevin. I'm like, look, I know I gotta tell Dion. But I'm trying to stall it out just as long as I could, right? So I knew the trade deadline was coming up on week 8. X, when I got to the last week, I was like, I can't do it no more. Dion, I failed you. I need some help, bro. Yeah. And so, I drove down I-85. He turned me to the nearest Popeyes, bro. So I got some chicken. Hey. I got some wings. I got a little bit of everything, and we back in the mix.
Back in the mix. And you're in first
Back in the mix.
And you're in first place in the division. So
wow.
Hopefully losing those two superstars, while it hurts, hopefully that doesn't derail this Oakland Raiders team as you battle for the playoffs. So last but not least, let's look at schedule. All right.
Gotcha.
You talked about Chiefs, Chargers, Eagles, Chiefs, Chargers. That's just craziness.
Correct.
But you heard the homie Bruce on the show.
Yes.
You got the Ravens coming out in week 11.
Yes.
Is that a W for the Oakland Raiders?
It better be. But check this out, X. Look, I don't look past nobody. I don't care 4-5, 5-4. It don't matter. Yeah. Bruce is gonna give me his best game.
That's true.
So I gotta prepare for the best game. Look, I'm not even trying to hear who he's starting at quarterback, running back, tailback. It don't matter. I got to play my style of game and prepare against this guy that I know he's trying to beat my head in. So we'll be ready. That's all I'm going to say. I know it'll be a good game. This guy's a good user. He's got a great team. But, we'll be ready.
Yeah, and then you got the Colts right after him. 2 games that definitely, if you're looking at it, you expect those to be W's for the Oakland Raiders before you get into that murderer's row. So let's say both of those are W's. You're 8-2-1 heading into those last 5 weeks where you got banner winner, a guy that's been in the NFC Championship more times than most guys have made the playoffs in Matty Ice, and then you got then back-to-back banner winners again. When you saw this schedule at the beginning of the year, did you want to throw the controller knowing you had those 5 games to end the season?
I did, but I knew I had to come out lights out for the first 8 weeks. That's what the plan was. Again, I'm sitting at 6-2-1, so it's not that bad. Again, when I the first 3 games when I ended 1-1-1, I felt like a fucking stepchild, like the fucking black sheep of the family. I'm like, who goes 1, 1, and 1, my dude? You know what I mean? Like, I'm catching a 1 in the next column on the 4th game, regardless. So I was like, you know what? Let me put this thing together. Let me focus. Let me get back to doing what we do. And so I just put it together. But the thing that had me kind of like messed up is, you know, like Dion was saying, you know, we go into high stakes. You need to get used to the new rules and the new system. Yeah. So I'm up here trying to, you know, get somebody's general playbook just to kind of see what I like. And I think that kind of messed me up. I'm probably going to have to do that in the off season or another time. Now, this actually was a great season to start out with, trying a new playbook because of my first 8 games. Not saying I disrespect any of my opponents, but This was the year to do it if I was going to do it. So I tried it. I think I have one that I like, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with the game plan for the rest of the season. Like you said, I got the Colts and the Ravens next, and then after that, the next 5 games are straight heavy hitter.
Yeah,
so I got to be ready.
Break it at that point. Those last 5 games, are going to let us know what the Oakland Raiders are all about. And I expect to see Tone Dog in the playoffs when it's all said and done, as you got to battle. Now, you know, you're going to get some help because those guys got tough schedules as well. So it's just stay the course, do what you do. And then I know it's early to talk about it, but you got to be looking at the draft already, knowing you lost Cooper and Carl Joseph. You got some big holes right there. And you got, you know, you got some money for free agency.
I got some money.
I don't want to talk about money with you really, but you got some money. You got some money, Tone Dog, headed into this free agency that you might be able to bring a couple pieces in because you're gonna have $50+ million to spend. Now, you might want to hold a little bit of that in the back pocket just in case, you know, you run into some money. But I think now that the stadium is built, you've been through that, you went through the process, you lost the players, I think you'll be good now. But are you worried now, since you had the penalty, that you don't want to spend any of that money that you got because you'd hate to go through that again? I know the homie Taz went through it, so hopefully, you know, he reached out and let you know it's not the end of the world. But are you going to be cheap with your money now?
X, I am so frugal, it's retarded, bro. I'm at the dollar store, bro. I promise you, I'm not spending a goddamn dime. Look, Deion said you ain't got to sign everybody. I said, I hear you, coach. I'm not fucking with it, bro. I mean, if you can't help my team immediately, I'm saving the money. I'm gonna do what's right. I gotta be a GM. I gotta play the damn game. I gotta be a coach. I gotta be a trainer. I gotta do everything. So you know what? I'm wearing all these hats. Everybody's gonna get mutual respect now. And I mean, we just gonna make it happen. I got a little bit of money, but I probably will be frugal with it. And I may pick up a piece or two, but for the most part, I need to make sure that I'm managing the money and the funds and everything like to the best of my ability.
Yeah. Tone Dog said we'll get pizza, but you all not getting but one topping on that bad boy. Don't be asking for extras. All right, man. What do you have for the Dynasty before we get out of here?
You know what? I just want to say I love everybody. Big shout out to my boy Farquaad. Welcome back.
Yeah.
We missed you, bro. Sorry about that L you took to the comments today. I watched it. All good though, bro. You get back on your feet. Big ups to the Dynasty. You know, we finished #1 in graphics, probably top 3 in everything else. So, I mean, big ups to you, X, for everything that you do, man. 700+ fucking followers. Dion doing this damn thing, running this fucking ship like a well-oiled machine. I mean, we rolling, baby. Dynasty.
Yeah, we rolling. Dynasty for life, no doubt about it. Real recognize real, and that's what people did with our graphics. And so, big shout out to the homie Dion, what he's doing. All right, guys. That's the homie Tone Dog, man. Appreciate you jumping on the bye week. Always a pleasure when we get to chop it up. And we will definitely do that when I step back out to EA Play next year.
Of course.
This year coming up. We'll have to chop it up again like we did last year, man. Appreciate you jumping on the show.
As always, bro.
All right, guys. That's the bye week. It's your boy XPERT on behalf of the DML Network, and I'm out.